Hi everyone, and welcome to this webinar on how to register your school to G Suite for Education. Okay, so I'm Camille and I will be with you for today's webinar. I'm QSR's trainer for G Suite for Education, and I'm a Google Certified Educator Level 1. I was also an educator for both senior high school and college levels, and I taught subjects such as art appreciation, world literatures, Philippine literatures, sociology and anthropology, and the like. So, enough about me. Let's move on with what this live streaming is all about. This live streaming is brought to you, by the way, by Q Software Research, a Google for Education partner since 2017, and a Google Cloud partner specializing on education since 2018. This is also in collaboration with Acer, Empowering People, and the Google Educator Groups, or GEG Philippines. If you're interested to use G Suite for Education for your school, you can sign up through our sign up sheet using the link bit.ly-iwantgsfe, which I just flashed right now, and a feedback form also at the description box below. That's tinyurl.com/webinar feedback. I will also be linking in our previous webinar on the overview of G Suite for Education at the description box below. If you weren't able to catch these links or write them down or copy them, I will be linking them down at the description box so you can check it out there. Okay, so I just want to reiterate that G Suite for Education is free. Okay, so since our previous webinar, schools and administrators, even students, have been hitting us up with inquiries about G Suite for Education and how to register. That's why QSR finally decided to create this webinar and put up this video. So before we move on, I just want to give you some points to remember before you register for G Suite for Education. Number one is that it has to be a school or an institution that would register, and not just an individual. If you're looking to use Google Classroom for just one of your classes, you can use your personal Gmail account for that. And another is that it does not happen overnight. We have to follow a process, and that's what we're going to be discussing today. So again, please note that G Suite for Education is free, free, free. It's in the screen. I've flashed it. And no, there is no catch to this. And again, no, it's not an April Fool's joke, if you're wondering. So yeah, I cannot reiterate this enough. G Suite for Education is free. Okay, so moving on with the registration process. Step number one. Before anything, since we are going to be looking for these documents, you have to prepare them beforehand. Number one is that, again, you have to be prepared with your documents. First document would be your DepEd, CHED, or your TESDA accreditation, because we have to know if you are an accredited school before you are allowed to be registered for G Suite for Education. Another one is the authorization letter, which is to authorize QSR to register on your behalf. So those are the two important documents if you want to register for G Suite for Education. Step number two is to set up your school's domain. Okay, step two is a bit tricky and technical. So you're probably wondering, what is a domain? And for those who are not techy like myself, okay, this is what a domain looks like. A domain is www.school.edu.ph or company.com or title.org. All of these are examples of a domain. And domains are not necessarily a website, but it could be used as one, okay? So let's move on. If your school does not have a domain, if it does not have these, for example, or the samples that I showed you just now, if you don't have these, and for example, you use your personal email to communicate with your students or your administrators, you can contact QSR, and QSR would gladly assist you on this. We can help you fast track your registration for G Suite for Education by allowing you to use a domain under ph.education. Again, I'm flashing this, ph.education. This domain is free to use. We are giving this, or we will be allowing you to use this because we made this specifically to help schools, get G Suite for Education as soon as possible. So that's if your school does not have a domain. Next, we move on. If your school has a domain, we look at bullet number 2 on the screen. If your school has a .edu.ph domain already, that's actually better. QSR can immediately assist you again with this for the next steps. You don't have to worry about anything. You just have to email us, and then we'll help you as long as you already have your .edu.ph domain. On the third bullet, we have a .com or a .org domain. If your school has a domain but it's not .edu.ph, instead, again, it's a .com or a .org. So if you have that, there are 2 possible ways. Number 1 is if you create a subdomain under your original domain. Second one is if you register for a new domain. Again, that's ph.education. And we will help you with your ph.education domain as long as you email or contact us. For any concerns with technicality of this part, if you further need information and clarification, you can email us at helpdesk@qsr.com.ph. This is our technical department. They would gladly assist you on anything that you need when it comes to registration for G Suite for Education. I just want to remind everyone that the domain is a requirement for G Suite for Education. So once we're cleared out with step number 2, which is the domain, and we're okay with that, we move on to step number 3. Step number 3 is very, very easy. You just have to fill out a form. This form is the link that we have at the description box. We call this the sign up form. Step number 3, again, is you just have to fill out the Google form that we will be providing with you once you're done with preparing your documents and once you're done with the domain. Okay, so why do you have to fill out a form? This would actually give us an overview about your school, and it will allow QSR to interface with Google on your behalf. This form would ask important questions that Google would need to verify that your school is accredited and real. So that's just very easy. You just have to fill out the form. Once everything is submitted and verified, then we reach the finish line. Welcome to G Suite for Education. Once everything is okay, you're good to go. You can make proper use of the unlimited storage and 10,000 licenses or email addresses that are given to you by Google. So that's one of the benefits of being registered for G Suite for Education. It is that you are given unlimited storage in your drive, and you are given 10,000 licenses to use. Your registration for G Suite for Education is very, very, very easy as long as you follow the steps and you work with our technical department. It's going to be very seamless. They're very proactive also with following up, and yeah. Again, G Suite for Education is free. It's really just up to you and your institution to grab it. It's right there. Okay, so now we are going to look at some comments or some questions. Do we have questions right here? Okay, I don't seem to see any comments or questions at the chat box, but I would want to greet everyone watching. Hello. Okay, so if you do not have questions right away after this webinar, it's still open. The comment box is still going to be open. You can just comment your questions at the comment section below. So, and again, we'll just try to answer them as soon as we can. Aside from this, you can also just email us immediately. So you don't have to worry about commenting. So again, if you are interested in registering your school for G Suite for Education, This is the link. It's bit.ly/iwantgsfe. It is again linked at the description box. And you just have to answer this form so we can just reach out to you. Of course, don't forget to like our social media, facebook.com/qsoftwareresearch. We also have Twitter, that's at QSR Corp. And please do subscribe to our YouTube channel. This is where I'm streaming right now. Just hit the subscribe button. And for for any more concerns, you can visit our website. It's qsr.com.ph. And for inquiries, again, you can email us. You can email us at education@qsr.com.ph. So all of these things are flashed at the screen, our social media, our emails, our websites. And for all these sign-up forms, it's at the description box. There is one question, by the way. This is from Kendrick Tabby. He asked why G Suite for Education is free. Okay, G Suite for Education is free because this is Google's advocacy to help educators, students, and schools to be able to have access to free, efficient, and effective applications that could help schools and students, especially in developing 21st century skills. So I think that's one of the questions that's very, very important to answer. Together with QSR, it has also been our advocacy to help students and teachers. So this is why I'm here as well. But yeah, that's all the time we have. For any questions or comments, you can just comment them at the comment box below. And then we'll see you in our next webinar. I'll see you guys. Bye.